Okay. As promised, ranting about Stargate. Or
Wait, we're gonna start the timer.
ranting is probably not a good thing. Okay, start the timer.
Okay.
Okay. Timer set. We're good.
Oh God, where do you even start?
At the beginning. Not that other O'Neill. With two L's.
Other O'Neill. I wish one time they brought in the other O'Neill, just once.
Just Kurt Russell shows up in the background, just walking by.
I guess I meant he references one time that there's another Colonel O'Neill in there. Oh, fuck, that would have been epic.
Mm-hmm.
I might have died.
Just Kurt Russell and James Spader walk by in the background for no real reason. They're just arguing about something, ranting, or even better, they're in the background, clearly having the same argument that Jack and Daniel are having in the foreground. That would be hilarious.
Or they're one of the guys that picks up Snyder.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But yes, that of the many things that we are mutually interested in geek-wise, I think Stargate is probably the one that we have the most overlap on, both in
just the sheer amount of references or characters you could talk about, or fanfics or fan porn. Because let me tell you what, never even thought about it, because I was younger when I watched it, and it never, I just was oh, Sam and Jack. And reading all this fan porn about Jack and Danielle, and I was like, oh. And then I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. And yes, there is a lot to be appreciative of in that regard, just in the show itself.
Well, that too.
Richard Dean Anderson is a very attractive man. And Amanda Tapping is a very attractive woman.
Oh, that Silver Fox, God. And just
that's
my
the only
classic.
reason she likes me is the beard.
Yeah. What's that? I never know the names of any of the episodes where Jack is stranded on that planet for 3 months or something and goes native.
Oh man.
And maybe has an alien child on another planet. They kind of reference.
It may have happened.
But he has a beard.
Scruffly.
I think he has a beard one in the coal mining one too.
Yeah. Probably.
Almost makes me want to watch The Simpsons. Almost. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this prophetic thing that people say it has.
Well, the prophetic thing really is just you make 30 years worth of TV and look at the world around you. Eventually, you're going to make a joke that happens to come true.
That's true. And I remember back in 2000, there was a bunch of hoopla about Trump being president. And people were like, yeah, I'd run it like a business, and that'd be great. And, I was young enough at the time, and I didn't know anything about him. I was like, my gosh, if he's a successful businessman, the economy sucks. It was sometime around Bill Clinton, and I had no idea what was going on, except for the 2-minute video they show you in homeroom.
Yeah.
Daniel. God, I love that. But what's the name? Michael Shakes.
Yes.
Oh. Just his face, just his face, is so expressive and so
Oh yeah.
Jack.
The concerned, confused look that he has is iconic. It's a signature.
Yeah. Maybe he read your report. I can't do it. I can't. But in my head, I'm just think, because I don't have the eyebrows for it.
Yes.
But he just
Oh. Yeah. Going back, Doc Frazier is also top tier.
Janet. I hated that episode. I wanted to shake that reporter so much. I don't care that he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it about her in the end." I was like, "Fuck you," because they all went in there under like, fuck that man. He goes straight to hell.
Yeah. But, you know, the on top of just keeping the things going and making sure that um, the show made sense, like, like any sci-fi show that runs for a real long time, you start running into power creep and things like that. Like the Ori, I think, was not my favorite part of that. Once by the time it started getting to the end,
I did like that it revamped the show though, and it became a different show almost because
yes,
and I will say that Janet's death was necessary for the start of that because then they had to they kind of like shuffled who was going to be a doctor, and then once for Jack's whole time there, he like never had a one
yeah,
you know,
yeah, but
and so then when Bill Bridges took over.
mhm.
My head is doing the thing. What was his name? Landry?
Yeah,
Landry.
yeah,
General Landry. Yeah, so then his daughter was or his estranged daughter, which I did appreciate the plot twist there.
yeah, but also the way that they handled the villains, I think, was what really made it, because you have unapologetically evil beings that know they are enslaving, and their whole purpose is, no, I am a god and you're going to worship me and do what I say because I have the power to do so. But then you have the people on earth who genuinely believe that they're doing what's best for the world, and like they are 100% convinced that they're the good guys.
Fuck Senator Kinsey too.
Yeah, and he's an absolute horrible person, but he is convinced that he is the right person for the job.
Because he's a pompous dickwad who thinks that God will protect this country.
Right, and that's I appreciate that they had multiple different types of villains like that, and then they have villains without
less when they got too many villains at home.
yes.
Where it was like balls here and now there's 50 of him.
Yeah.
And like all of this materials, I mean, like I liked the occasional episode of like there's some Gould larva that got out because the NID's a jack job.
Mm-hmm. But also they have other threats that are not even villainous in nature. They're more like obstacles, like the replicators at first. Like there's no intent there.
It's just
but it's still
base code.
incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And requires a lot of things to happen on the part of the.
Sorry, I'm trying ice.
It happens. But yeah, even from the beginning, they had all these things that
You're
they could
sounding
do.
really rational. I feel like you need to drink more.
All right, fine.
Oh,
Would you prefer I was?
No, not like last time. I'm just gonna do shit.
Mm-hmm. But they also have so much. Like I think one of the things that I appreciate the most about it season to season as they went on, at least the first several, was the relationship between Sam and Jack and how they were
Literally
so
just thinking that.
committed to their duty to the military and their propriety and how that's supposed to be handled. And especially for Jack, it's so clear that you take one regulation away and everything changes. But he will not go past that.
Right, and it's not because, Carter's not worth it, it's because that, like, the job they're doing is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't think that without Carter they can do that.
Right.
And his single happiness isn't worth it. And he knows that Carter feels the same way, despite how much it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I think really neither one of them knows if they could do it.
Yeah. And that, I think, like, the references that they make going back to the sacrifices that they have all made.
Yeah.
You talk about, the one we watched a couple weeks ago together where...
I just remembered this one has a fluffy thing. Oh, move.
Careful.
Remember that for a sec.
But the way that he references his son in that episode in Window of Time, or is it Window of Opportunity? See, I am starting to get there. I think it's Window of Opportunity, but where there's a time loop and this guy is trying to save his wife or go back and see her one last time and
despite
spend that time with her.
Yeah, that cancer is destroying her brain and there's nothing they can do.
And like the whole episode has been comedic, essentially. You've got Jack and Teal they're learning to juggle and they're golfing through the Stargate and they're doing all this goofy shit because they can.
And kissing Sam.
Yes, that. The full dip, the tracksuit thing that he was wearing with the hat.
What the fuck was that? And then also, like, Sam's like, are we doing this? Are we really doing this? Like, she's kissing him back, and then she's like, damn, yeah, fuck, yes, we are. And, like, her hand at the end there.
And then it cuts out.
I know, and I was like, fuck that shit. Also, that is a really uncomfortable way to be held. Unless someone is, like, holding your entire body weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, otherwise you're trying to, like, strain with your back to keep straight. You're, like, singly supporting yourself on a leg. Like, that's just not...
Yeah.
Like, the full dip is not comfortable.
But, basically the whole episode is that they're being goofy and they're... it's not even all, like, them just horsing around. The serious parts of it are also them goofing off. Until you get to the very end, and then it just flips that switch.
Yeah.
And he's like... I lost my son.
Yeah.
And it's so... Like, the acting
Everyone's like, oh,
is
shit.
incredible. It really is.
It is. That is... Every time stuff like that, or like when Daniel's like, I lost my wife.
Uh-huh.
And I'm always just like, ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, when, the Charlie episodes always suck. And they did one early on to get you hooked and sad.
Yeah. Oof.
I hate that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's another episode? What's that episode you hate?
That I hate?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not really fond of the Wormhole Extreme episodes.
Oh, yes. Any of that line.
Yeah.
There's like 3 episodes of that?
Yeah. I get it. You're self-referential. That's cool. There's a way to do it, and then there's a way to be ham-fisted with it. And they definitely went with, we're just going to go as over the top as we can.
Like, episode 200 was a waste of my life.
Yeah.
It's literally, like...
Yeah. But then you do have some of those one-off episodes that aren't really part of, like, any huge overarching thing. Like I can't remember what the guy was, but where he basically builds his own Stargate in Sam's house.
Oh, I love him!
Yes.
Oren.
Yes.
I love when he comes back in those, like, late episodes and he's a child. And because he's fucking Oren, he's like, I still feel the same. And she's like... Because, like, as a person, of course you would remember those feelings that you had.
Right.
But you're also like, this is not acceptable. Like, I realize you can consent and it's different, but it's not...
It still feels wrong.
Yeah. Plus, you're gonna die. Like, I can, like, close my eyes and we can talk about this, but, like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they eventually do, like, a soul gaze thing when he's like that?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched that late into the series. I get to about season 6 and I start going,
I like the Ori series, partly because I love What's Your Toes he plays, Andrea. There's lots of M's in there.
My brain keeps wanting to say Anara Sarah, and no,
I know!
that's...
Oh,
Yes, but no.
I'll Google it later. But yes.
I'm going to feel bad that I don't remember her name.
And I love Vala. And I love Vala and Daniel. And I love Vala with Teal'c and Vala with Mitchell?
Yes.
I love the episode with Mitchell and Shepard. Oh, you haven't seen the Atlantis series?
Not much. I've seen episodes here and there, but I wouldn't say that I've watched Atlantis.
Yeah, there's a whole episode where they, like, exchange people. It's funny. There's a couple like that. There's a shootout between Teal'c and Ronan.
Ooh.
Who's played by Jason Momoa.
Yeah. No,
young Jason Momoa.
I know who
God,
he is.
I fell in love with that. Oh.
I
could go on and on about the Atlantis series. I love the
Yes.
Atlantis series. But I do need to watch the Universe.
I haven't seen any of Universe.
Neither have I. That's when they're on the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to watch that, mostly because the guy who plays Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time is in that. And I love...
Isn't that right, Lightning McQueen?
There are so many, like, characters that I channel for Drake sometimes that I'm just like, yes. I mean, like, not all... I mean, I'm not giving away any secrets, but, like, sometimes when I need to be ruthless, I'm like... It was a brilliant idea, wasn't it? Like, what Rumpelstiltskin say?
Oh man, you do really good. I am consistently impressed that this is your first campaign.
Really?
Absolutely.
I am consistently sure that I'm horrible and everyone hates me and that I'm ridiculous.
No, especially for the fact that we have 2 new players, again, amongst people who are very experienced.
Who else is new?
William.
He's never played before?
Oh. I was fairly confident. Now you've got me questioning.
I have no idea, honestly. I guess I just assumed that he'd played before because he knew the rules. Maybe he just read the book before I did.
I think he just read the book before you did.
That's very possible.
But yeah, you guys do phenomenal. And yeah, the whole dynamic of the group is fantastic.
It is.
Even though you guys won't just work together and make it easy on me.
Of course not. You know, like, look at our characters. We're all so different. Like, Drake and Hannah are just gonna annihilate each other at some point.
That's probable.
Well, maybe. We'll see. Fucking Bethany.
She just wants everyone to be friends.
I know. We got off subject.
We did get off subject. But that's the point of being impaired, is that we're not going to...
We should do a Stargate D&D. Are there Stargate D&D?
There is a Stargate RPG. I have looked at it briefly. I would have to look at it some more and see what I could do to...
Okay, next time. This game is gonna last. The game we have is gonna last for fucking over.
You guys are doing pretty good. I mean, the way the campaigns work, they could feasibly go on forever. There is no, here's the win condition.
Hang on, we got off topic again.
Damn it.
That's okay.
Stargate. It's an RPG.
Daniel's lips. Vala, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Claudia Black can...
Oh.
I can listen to her talk forever.
I love anything she's in. I love Claudia Black. Yeah. And you need to watch that one that her and Mitchell are in. Farscape?
Farscape. Yes, you do.
It's
If
on
you
my list.
Ooh, Farscape.
They reference it once in the in one of the Martin episodes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're right. I have no idea what that is." And I was like, one time, like oh, by like the 20th time I'd watched that episode, I finally Googled it. I was like, "What is that fucking show?" And then I was like,
Yeah.
The only other thing I'd ever seen her in was the Vin Diesel
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
Also good.
So good.
It's weird that they turned Pitch Black into a series about him. Again, we're off topic and we're over 20 minutes.
No, we have our 3-minute grace.
We have a grace period. Okay. We have a grace period, apparently.
Yeah. Black Hole episodes.
Yes.
I loved Jack's acting in that. Like he's like, look at that man's face. He knows what's coming. You know, and just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially the episodes where like Kinsey like gets on him for it, and he's like, "Fuck you." Like, do you know what we did?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Any really episode with Kinsey, he's like, "I'm gonna take over the, I think the NID. There's probably I'm fucking in charge." Thor. She's like, "Grand." What is it? What is the line? Where he's like, Chancellor Thor, or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, Supreme Chancellor," and
yeah.
Kinsey's like.
And what's great about that is, he's spoken to Jack multiple times, and it's not like he's ever been offended by that at all.
I also think it's interesting that they sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you.
No, that's fine.
Is that they think that Jack represents the growth of the human race. Like, I get maybe his DNA or brain is more advanced because he's got some of the ancients in him or whatever, but his personality is look, it's fucking Earth. Sorry, these guys are hooked on corn. Guess they're shut out of luck. We're not expending troops to fix it. I'm like, then why do you go through the gate?
Magnets.
God damn it. Where the big glass is? It's a plant.
And now, since nobody has any fucking clue what we're talking about, I think we'll call that one there.